Welcome to Entitled with your host, Rita Kaminski, the podcast designed to empower you to achieve any and all your desires because you deserve it.
Welcome to the 7th episode of Entitled. I'm your host, Rita Kaminski. I talk a lot about self-love on both my YouTube channel and this podcast, and to my friends all the time. A big part of that is eliciting main character energy in everyday life. But what does this even mean? It means not following anyone else in life and not being a sidekick of life, but truly focusing on yourself, minding your own business, and staying in your lane. God, I love that phrase, stay in your lane. That's not to mention you shouldn't be out there supporting people in general. Honor the moments that friends and family and acquaintances and strangers need your help and help out in any way that you can. I believe that we're 100% in this together. We're in this world to build each other up, help each other out. It's very important. But look at any main character and sidekick combination. Honestly, which one would you want to be? Why? Think of Fry and Bender from Futurama, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, Napoleon Dynamite and Pedro Sanchez, Wallace and Gromit, Mr. Burns and Smithers, Shrek and Donkey, Michael Scott and Dwight. You get it. We do this because we get distracted from our own path or think that people's lives are much more interesting than our own, or start comparing ourselves or have no idea what we're doing, so we latch on to others. In any case, the root issue of all of this is lack of self-love. When we stop to look at ourselves, our passions, what we want to do in the world and our purpose, we don't look for external sources because it's within us. We're not looking around to see what's over there. What is Sally doing? What kind of car is Jimmy driving? We don't care because we've set a mission for ourselves and we don't even have the time to keep up with the Joneses because we are tending to our own dreams, needs, and wants. Honestly, the reason why I check out people on Instagram these days is pure motivation and inspiration. I can't remember the last time I'm like, I wonder how this person is doing because I was curious. In terms of influences, did you get me? Like, I love how I broke out into a British accent. I'm sorry. I search the people that truly deeply inspire me and I'm like, yes, and it just like fuels me up. That's the only time that I check up on people, and that honestly is the type of energy that you should be emitting out into the world. This isn't just for career or success. This goes for social settings too. Think of the girl who everyone levitates to at parties. She's talking about her own ideas, what she thinks about certain topics, and engaging in a balanced way. She's not latching on to conversations or worrying when the next awkward silence will be. She's just staying in her own lane, emitting her own frequency. She's not catering to a certain person or a certain conversation and being like, oh, what does this person want to talk about? Let me entertain this person. They talk in a balanced way and they emit bad bitch vibes overall. This makes people gravitate towards her, not the other way around. It's the same with finding friends. You don't chase after friends, or boyfriends for that matter. That goes without saying. You focus on your own hobbies and interests and career, right? And by doing that, that is when you find your people. Or rather, because you are so focused on building yourself, those people gravitate to you. And you don't have to look very far. I didn't always think like that. In the past, I definitely would have searched externally for people and thought that I would have to impress people with my wit or my opinions or what I talked about. But when I realized that the right people will start coming when you truly focus on yourself, I started attracting people that were right for me. I started attracting the right people in my life. Okay, so we've gotten career and relationships out of the way. But what about day-to-day life? Being a main character means waking up, recognizing that you're that bitch, the only bitch, smile and say, today's gonna be an amazing day, and treat every moment like a chick flick comedy blockbuster, starring you. And only you. A main character does everything for a reason. They pick out clothes that they want to wear. They say things that they want to say. They live the life that they want to live. I've literally always done this as a kid. Every time I went to the movies, I would try to turn myself into the main character after the movie would finish and take that personality on to, elicit main character energy. It really worked. It was a vibe. Then, as a teenager, I would always pretend I'm in music videos, remembering the scenes in my life and playing them out in some glamorous scene. I would pretend to be a big boss bitch at every waking moment. And I've got to say that has translated into my adult life, and that has really helped me. Summer wouldn't just be summer. It would be beach days, adventures with best friends, watermelon, smiles, crazy stories that I lived through like I was in a movie scene. I'd scroll Tumblr at 2 a.m. every night and look at all of these inspiring summer shots and be like, yep, those are me and my friends. Yeah, like I was doing the dream board before doing the dream board was the cool thing to do. We have our own little worlds, and we have to put that world up on a pedestal. We have to understand that every moment is important. Every moment is a chance to have the perspective on an extraordinary life. And if it doesn't feel like it, we make it feel like that. When I need to pick me up, or just in general, I'd like to put my Nike Air Force Ones on. Yes, very specific. Put my AirPods in, get a coffee, and strut the streets like the bad bitch I am. I'd hella romanticize it, fantasize about my goals and dreams, which would inspire me to put in action. It helped me live in the present moment and be excited for what's to come. And the combination of those two things made me really elicit that main character energy. Life is so precious, so we definitely have to treat every moment like a movie where we're the main character. Because sometimes life can be tough and it can be really uncomfortable, and there can be so much hate. So I personally love sprinkling a little bit of fantasy here and there to remind myself that actually I'm in control of my emotions, I'm the main character, and I'm going to be in control of what I can be in control of, and I'm going to focus on myself, and everything that I want to do is going to gravitate towards me. Everything that I want is going to gravitate towards me. The right people are going to gravitate towards me, not the other way around. I'm sure you've all heard this clip on TikTok before, but I'm going to be playing it for you now as a source of inspiration and also just to concrete my point because it's so true.
You have to start romanticizing your life. You have to start thinking of yourself as the main character. Because if you don't, life will continue to pass you by. And all the little things that make it so beautiful will continue to go unnoticed. So take a second and look around and realize that it's a blessing for you to be here right now.
We can't just brush off the things that happen to us and pretend like it's nothing. We can't just celebrate the huge life events. Like, for example, when you graduate or when you have your wedding, I'm sure you do romanticize it in some sort of way and you have this storyline in your head about it and you make this big thing about it. I think that you should go through your life like that every single day. I bought my iron tablets today and I'm just like, I'm so healthy. I'm buying my iron tablets because I'm battling my anemia. I'm a strong ass bitch. I'm so healthy. Look at me go. And I just romanticize that. Like literally the smallest things. Just try it, guys. It will honestly change your life. We should be using uplifting storylines to lift ourselves up in every moment and every situation. I use these examples all the time, but literally it's because it's so real to me and it's my own life experiences, and these points really come in handy for me when I, remember and reminisce about them. So when I broke my foot when I was 21, I gained 13 kilograms and I had to stay at home, and I was basically sitting down for 4 months, and I started playing this story in my head like, oh my God, I can't walk. I feel so helpless. I feel so defeated. And if I started to run this story in my head, that would have been it, right? And I would have just stayed down, whatever. But I chose to flip the script, flip the storyline, and channeled my main character energy and was like, no, you know what? I'm the main character. And I saw this as a moment, a scene in a movie. Like, damn, I'm really down and out right now. This is the part of the movie where, I'm feeling like crap. And this is the conflicting, moment, and I need to get to the climax and the resolution. So, you know what I did? I took my boot having ass to the gym and I started lifting, and I lost a bunch of weight over the next couple of months. And then when my boot came off, I lost an additional 10 kilograms, and right now my weight is 65 kilograms and I was 83 kilograms, right? So I lost a considerable amount of weight, 18 kilograms. And if I wasn't like, you know what, I'm this main character, I'm going to flip the script and this is my kind of storyline, I would have just let the wave ride out and wouldn't have taken control of my life, essentially. So I kind of, as bad as it was, I romanticized it, right? And I tried to switch it into a positive. And it's the same thing about moving to New York. As you guys know, I want to move to New York, and I have been wanting to move to New York for a while, and I could have let the pandemic stop me and be like, damn, like, I can't control my outside, circumstances. Oh, well, let me just take a seat and, let this wave ride out. I was like, no, the pandemic is the enemy. The pandemic is the antagonist, and I am the protagonist, bitch. I am going to be that main bitch that faces the pandemic and goes for my dreams, and I'm gonna keep on killing it. And right, so I kind of dramatized it, but I dramatized it in, a cinematic, dramatic, filmographic way, right? So it would empower me to change the story into how I would like it to go. And that would not have been possible if I didn't see myself as the main character, right? And I didn't put focus on myself and my story and what I'm about and what I want and, the protagonist vibes. So focus on yourself, stay in your lane, switch the storyline from negative to positive, celebrate every moment, and romanticize your life. You are the main character. Now, what are you going to do with it?
This has been the Entitled Podcast with Rita Kaminski.